A Crystal Age by W. H. Hudson. Narrated by Jason Smith. Chapter 1. I do not quite know how it happened, my recollection of the whole matter ebbing in a somewhat clouded condition. I fancy I had gone somewhere on a botanizing expedition, but whether at home or abroad I don't know. At all events, I remember that I had taken up the study of plants with a good deal of enthusiasm, and that while hunting for some variety in the mountains I sat down to rest on the edge of a ravine. Perhaps it was on the ledge of an overhanging rock. Anyhow, if I remember rightly, the ground gave way all about me, precipitating me below. The fall was a very considerable one, probably 30 or 40 feet, or more, and I was rendered unconscious. How long I lay there under the heap of earth and stones carried down in my fall it is impossible to say, perhaps a long time, but at last I came to myself and struggled up from the debris, like a mole coming to the surface of the earth to feel the genial sunshine on his dim eyeballs. I found myself standing, oddly enough, on all fours, in an immense pit created by the overthrow of a gigantic dead tree with a girth of about 30 or 40 feet. The tree itself had rolled down to the bottom of the ravine, but the pit in which it had left the huge stumps of severed roots was, I found, situated in a gentle slope at the top of the bank. How, then, I could have fallen seemingly so far from no height at all, puzzled me greatly. It looked as if the solid earth had been indulging in some curious transformation pranks during those moments or minutes of insensibility. Another singular circumstance was that I had a great mass of small fibrous rootlets tightly woven about my whole person, so that I was like a colossal basket-worm in its case, or a big man-shaped bottle covered with wickerwork. It appeared as if the roots had grown round me. Luckily they were quite sapless and brittle, and without bothering my brains too much about the matter, I set to work to rid myself of them. After stripping the woody covering off, I found that my tourist suit of rough Scotch homespun had not suffered much harm, although the cloth exuded a damp, moldy smell, also that my thick-soled climbing boots had assumed a cracked rusty appearance as if I had been engaged in some brickfield operations, while my felt hat was in such a discolored and battered condition that I felt almost ashamed to put it on my head. My watch was gone, perhaps I had not been wearing it, but my pocketbook in which I had my money was safe in my breast pocket. Glad and grateful at having escaped with unbroken bones from such a dangerous accident, I set out walking along the edge of the ravine, which soon broadened to a valley running between two steep hills, and then, seeing water at the bottom and feeling very dry, I ran down the slope to get a drink. Lying flat on my chest to slake my thirst animal fashion, I was amazed at the reflection the water gave back of my face. It was, skin and hair, thickly encrusted with clay and rootlets.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?